Good afternoon. Welcome to the January 14th, 2026 Zoning Commission meeting public hearing. The Zoning Commission requires a quorum of 6 members to be present and available for voting. The following members are present today. Chairperson Rains,
Present.
Present.
okay. Commissioner Mayo, Commissioner Trujillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Welch, Commissioner McCoy, Commissioner Edmonds, Commissioner Robinson, Commissioner Pierce, Commissioner Rogers, Commissioner Werman,
Present.
and Commissioner Castro.
Yeah.
Staff present today are LaShondra Stringfellow, Assistant Director, Stephanie Scott Sims, Zoning Manager, Lynn Jordan, Senior Planner, Beth Knight, Senior Planner, Dave McCorkadale, Senior Planner, and Enrique Alvarez, Planner 2. Mr. Chair, will you please call the meeting to order?
Welcome, everybody, to the meeting of the Zoning Commission. I officially call this meeting to order at 1:02 p.m., January 14th, 2026. And being January 2026 in Fort Worth means it's stock show time here, so I hope you all get a chance to get out there and enjoy that for the 23-day run. I don't have any other announcements, just glad everybody's here.
Perfect. Again, welcome to the January 14th, 2026 Zoning Commission meeting public hearing. Today's meeting agenda can be found online at www.fortworthtexas.gov. Speaker registration forms must have been turned in prior to the start of the meeting. Today's public hearing is being documented by cable television and video conference recording, which will be available on the city's website. Cases heard at this public hearing are to be heard at the February 10th City Council hearing unless otherwise stated on the agenda. Please be advised that it takes 6 members to approve a zoning case. To achieve a timely and orderly meeting, the Commission requests that the following rules of procedure be respected. Each case will be called in the sequence listed on the agenda unless otherwise directed by the chair. All ensuing dialogue shall be directed to the Commission only. After staff presentation, the applicant and support will be given a maximum total of 5 minutes to present their case. Opposition may then speak for a maximum total of 7 minutes. At the conclusion of the opposition, the applicant will be provided 2 minutes for rebuttal. Those that are not able to speak today are encouraged to submit comments or sign up to speak at City Council. Sign-ups to comment or speak at City Council begin the Friday before the scheduled council hearing. Continuation beyond the speaker's allotted time will be subject to the chairman's sole discretion and approval. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board-adopted rules of procedures to the extent possible. Following the official close of each case hearing, the Commission will remain in open session to discuss and vote upon the item in question. During this time, no further public testimony or commentary will be allowed unless directed by the chair. A closed executive session may be held with respect to the posted agenda items to enable the Commission to receive advice from legal staff. For additional information on any case on today's agenda, you may contact the Development Services Department by calling area code 817-392-8028. Thank you. Mr. Chair, the first order of business is the adoption of the previous month's minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Edmonds with a second by Commissioner Werman.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo,
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Welch.
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy,
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds,
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson, Commissioner Pierce, Commissioner Rogers,
Aye.
Commissioner Werman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
The Ayes have it, 11-0. With the vote 11-0, the zoning commission votes to approve the meeting minutes. Thank you. The first case on today's agenda is, oh, we have to open the public. First item on today's agenda is, or the second agenda item is the approval of the revised rules of procedure. Dave? Oh, I don't see it.
Oh, you can't see it on yours. Yeah, it's up there. He's got it up there.
There it
You can look at my screen if you want.
is. It's on there now.
As I mentioned, thank you. Sorry for that. Thank you. As I mentioned during our work session, we are proposing a few minor updates to the zoning commission's rules of procedure. Specifically, we are revising or updating terminology that's been used. The first item or the first thing that's highlighted is that the name of our department has changed since these rules of procedure were first enacted back in 2015. So we are revising the name of Planning and Development to the Development Services Department. Also, as you may recall, the number of zoning commissioners has changed since 2015, as we have added a new, an additional council district. So now we have 11 council districts, and subsequently we have 11 zoning commissioners as well. So that has changed the number of votes that are required to affirmatively approve an item. So that number has gone from 5 to 6, and we are updating the rules of procedure to reflect that change. And lastly, we are just we are updating the names of the folks that are included in the signature block to reflect today's our current zoning chair and executive secretary and city secretary. And that is all, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Stephanie. Any questions or discussion? If not, we are open for a vote.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval.
We have a motion to
Yes,
approve
yes.
by Commissioner Robinson and a second by Commissioner Welch. Just a reminder from IT over here, you don't have to turn your mic on and off. It'll turn it off basically for good, so just leave your mics on. And we're ready to vote.
I'm sorry, I did not hear the motion. Could you repeat who made the motion?
The motion was made by Commissioner Robinson and second by Commissioner, was it Pierce? No, it was Welch, sorry.
Thank you. Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
And Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the zoning commission votes to approve the updated rules of procedure for the zoning commission. Next case on the agenda is case ZC-25-158, the proliferating uses text amendment. Dave, if you could go to number 9. Thank you. Sorry, mine is not changing. Okay. Thank you. So again, commissioners, this item came before you at last month's meeting for the first time. Um, Staff is proposing a number of zoning amendments to address certain commercial business uses that are considered to be saturating some of our neighborhood commercial business districts. And first, just to give a overall summary of what those proposed zoning amendments are. Um, so the first use is regarding liquor and package stores. Staff is proposing to define that use, so adding a definition to the zoning ordinance. Then secondly, removing that use from our E and MU1 zoning districts. And then adding a 1,000-foot separation distance between like uses. Secondly, the second use is for credit access businesses. So again, we are proposing to define that use within our zoning ordinance. And then limiting that use to our G through K and select G through K zoning districts and select form-based districts. Those are our heavier commercial and industrial districts. And then we are proposing to add a 1,000-foot separation distance between between those uses. Then the next use is retail smoke shops. Staff is proposing to amend the definition to 51% of gross retail sales. Currently, retail smoke shops are defined as stores that sell tobacco and tobacco-related products and vape and electronic cigarette related products at 90% of its gross retail sales. We are looking to amend that definition and lower that threshold to encompass more of our retail smoke shops that are predominantly selling those products. And then we are proposing to add new sensitive uses into that definition and increase the sensitive use buffer to 500 feet. Currently, there's a 300-foot buffer between retail smoke shops and certain sensitive uses. We are looking to increase that to 500 feet. And then lastly, adding a 1,000-foot separation distance between retail smoke shops. You may recall that earlier versions of this included pawn shops and regulations to pawn shops, but we have since removed those pawn shop uses from the proposed amendments due to stricter state regulations that were beyond what we were proposing. So there was no real need to include them in this regulation. And then we are proposing a definition for bar and revising the definition of restaurant. Also, I just want to note that this item is scheduled to go to City Council on January 27th, which is different from most of the cases on this agenda that will go to City Council in February. And I am available to ask or to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, commissioners, before we move on to the opposition? Okay, seeing none at this time, I'll first call Daniel Tucker. Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Okay, good evening, well, good afternoon, commissioners and staff. My name is Danielle Tucker, and I'm here in opposition of this proposed zoning change. I have seen reporting on Fox 4 News indicating that this issue has been discussed publicly before a formal vote, which raises concerns about transparency and due process. The stated justification for this ordinance focuses on low-income areas, based on the idea that children walk past certain businesses and may be influenced by them. That framing unfairly stigmatizes entire communities and shifts responsibilities away from decades of disinvestment. If children are being failed, it is not because of neighborhood serving businesses, it's because of a systematic issue that zoning cannot fix. I also want to ask a fundamental question. What good will this ordinance actually do when there are already convenience stores on nearly every corner of the city? These stores sell alcohol, tobacco, and other regulated products, often with fewer land use restrictions, yet they are not being addressed in the same way. This inconsistency undermines the stated purpose of this policy. This is also an important distinction being ignored. A package store is a regulated alcohol-only retail use with strict licensing, operating hours, and compliance requirements. A convenience store, by contrast, sells alcohol alongside with fuel, food, and other retail items that are far more prevalent throughout the city. If exposure is truly the concern, this ordinance does not address the most common source. These same neighborhoods already face higher insurance risk classification. Restricting lawful economic activity does not reduce it, it increases it. Vacant land and empty storefronts weaken insurance risk pools, drive up premiums, and make it harder for property owners and entrepreneurs to reinvest. That leads to more blight, not less. I am deeply concerned by statements made by council members suggesting that certain businesses should be restricted simply because of who lives in these areas and who walks past them. That reflects an authoritarian, top-down approach to control rather than evidence-based or community-driven planning. This proposal raises constitutional concerns. I'm not even going to mention them. While this ordinance is a citywide on paper, its practical impact is concentrated in already underserved areas. It is deeply concerning that one council member can say no to opportunity in areas that have the lowest life expectancy, the largest homeless population, underperforming public schools, poor infrastructure, including limited internet access and abundance of vacant land. We continue to see a lack of meaningful development along corridors like Riverside, Rosedale and Evans, Riverside and Lancaster, Berry and Mitchell, Riverside and Berry, Evans and Berry, Miller and Berry, Seminary and Wichita, Riverside and Campus, and Berry Hill, and Berry and 287, areas which are located in historically Black neighborhoods that have been promised revitalization. Zoning should be a tool to encourage activation, not suppress it. This ordinance disproportionately impacts vacant land and empty storefronts. While existing businesses are largely grandfathered, this creates unequal outcomes and discourages future investment. City officials take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Texas. That oath requires policies that protect due process, property rights, and equal opportunity. I ask that you consider grandfather clauses in historical neighborhoods and those who have been mass zoned and those who have uses who have been commercial for over 50 years. This is not protection. This is not equity. This is a policy crisis that limits opportunity under the guise of concern. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. And next, we have Randy Bishop. And just as a reminder to those of you that are speaking in opposition, you have a total of 7 minutes combined together. So if you hear some comments that you wanted to bring up too, maybe if they've already been expressed, consider that.
My name is Randy Bishop. I'm owner of Jack Star Liquor, which has been there for 74 years, since 1952. I've been there for 44 years, since 1982. I bought Jack Star in 2013 for my retirement. My thoughts are, if you take my liquor store, my building back, if I incur a 75% loss, I would lose my retirement savings, which I've worked, will be end up 50 years. The Jack Star marquee sign is iconic. People from all over the world come and photograph it. Jack Star, a local neighborhood store catering to the locals, Neighbors have to travel further if Jack Star was gone. I'm an active part of the neighborhood association. I keep an eye out for Sylvania Park across the street and frequently reported concerns to police. Jack Star should be exempt from the zoning change, grandfathered. Any business more than 50 years old should be totally exempt. Insurance depreciation, I would lose if I didn't get to build it back. And I just think they should take that 75% loss out. I'm going to lose everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time, Ms. Scott Sims, you have 2 minutes to addressing those concerns if you would like.
Yes, I just have one quick comment regarding existing stores like the Jack Star,
Mr. Bishop.
Mr. Bishop, thank you. So those existing stores, how this would affect existing stores is that existing stores can continue to operate business as usual. They would potentially, we would have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, but we would have to determine whether it becomes a non-conforming use. And then if so, there would be limitations on expansion of that use. Like for example, if you wanted to expand your store, your footprint, otherwise you would just continue to operate business as usual, and this would really affect new stores that are able to come in to the area. They would have to adhere to that, the new distance requirement.
I think one of his concerns is, let's say there was a tornado ripped through town and it took out his business and he had to totally rebuild. That would affect.
So as a non-conforming use.
Possibly, if there was another liquor store within
Yes.
that distance.
Yes, so if it was determined that your store is a non-conforming use, then that could affect you and you had that loss, the loss provisions would affect you. But that's only if you are determined to be non-conforming use. And our legal department is here too, if they'd like to weigh in on that part.
Sure, Trey Qualls of the City Attorney's Office. And I think the 75%, just to be clear, is within the zoning ordinance. If your property is destroyed 75% or more, then yes, you would lose your legal non-conforming use.
Is there anything they could do to get that back? Could someone in like his position appeal to get that back? Is there any mechanism?
Not once a legal non-conforming use is lost, no.
Could they come back to zoning and ask?
You could always come back and ask for a zoning change, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ms.
And that's
Sims.
all if I need to answer any questions, I'm here.
I have a question. If there was if we inserted some grandfather type clause into here to protect such a scenario for this gentleman, it seems like that would be the correct thing to do.
Yeah, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, legal, I don't think we can do anything. I think we can vote for this or against this. There's really nothing we can change in it.
Right,
Yeah.
there's not really any way you could make a permanent grandfather because it could always be subject to a subsequent zoning change. But in some respects, any legal non-conforming uses are grandfathered. He's not going to have to stop operating because it changes unless he does stop operating for a period of 24 months or changes the use or, again, if there's more than 75% destruction.
Okay, so an act of God out of his control could ruin him financially.
He would lose a legal non-conforming use that is not in conformance with the zoning at that time.
Because he wouldn't be able to collect the insurance either if he's not rebuilding. So
Yeah, can't speak to that. That would be
don't-
between him and his insurance company.
And that's the way it's written. So I think, yeah, and I have Commissioner Welch had the same concern.
I don't think I can
But
support
but I
this
think that
as
would
written.
be something where this would have to be rewritten altogether. So Yeah, I have an issue with that part as well, and Commissioner Edmonds, I believe, has brought this up a couple times. I also am concerned with the way that it's written on the 1,000 foot. If you have a mile-long strip center and there's a liquor store on one end, and then 4,000 feet on the other end, there's another liquor store, but they're on the same property, now all of a sudden, it's legal non-conforming when they're well beyond the distance that it's intended to. So I also think
They-
something ought to be done with the way it's written, maybe door to door instead of property line to property
Well,
line.
also in consideration too, if they exist that way today in that mile-long shopping center, the second this is instituted is they're both legal non-conforming
Right, correct.
on approval.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that haven't been thought through on this. I don't,
I think the reason, the impetus behind it all, I think is good. There are just some little things I think need to be adjusted a little bit personally. Any other comments, thoughts from other commissioners?
Me, I think a lot of people are confusing liquor stores with grocery stores. Because grocery stores don't sell liquor, they sell beer and wine. They don't sell, 7-Eleven does not sell liquor. They sell beer and wine. That's a difference between hard liquor, which I think this is intention, versus beer and wine. I
Right,
think that needs to be clear.
So I think we've all
There's a lot of
driven,
confusion with that because I'm hearing comments about a store selling liquor. No, a store cannot sell liquor. They can sell beer and wine. They cannot sell hard liquor.
yeah, and I think, one of the reasons, at least in my mind, this was, the city is moving in this direction is because we've all driven through parts of the city where there needs to be more investment and more amenities for the people that live there. And you drive by and there's just liquor store, liquor store, liquor store, smoke shop, payday loan store, and it's like, man, where are the convenience stores and the grocery stores and
Exactly.
all that other
Mr.
stuff?
Chairman, exactly, because
Yeah.
I live in District 6. I live in District 6. There are 6 liquor stores in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Off of McPherson, there's a liquor store from North Crowley, Ninth Grade Center. There is about 5,000 feet from that liquor store. And there's houses behind it. And I just moved there in 2019. There were 6 liquor stores there.
So I think the direction is correct, but, I
This is
think some of the points we're
oversaturated.
making,
It's
there's
oversaturated.
some little tweaks, I think that,
Yeah, I think it needs to go back and revisit some things.
uh,
Bringing in maybe grandfathering the stores has been around for a long time. Maybe that needs to happen. We need to talk about that. I don't know what staff's feeling on going back to the drawing board and tweaking it a little bit.
from this point, it would, after we vote, it's going to go to council and then they can decide to, hear our comments and deny it, send it back, get it tweaked, or they can approve it as is. But hopefully they watch this and hear some of the comments we've made today and those comments that you all made.
I would encourage those who've spoken today on this issue to get directly with your council members and their chief of staff as well.
And if you're not here and you're watching, you can
Me-
also contact your council member. Any other comments, commissioners?
Quick question. The legal non-conforming status, that's not specific to this amendment. It's part of the overall zoning code ordinance. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, legal nonconforming exists independent of this change.
It's just too much.
All right, we are open for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Commissioner Welch?
For the case of ZC-25-158, I move for denial.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Welch to deny and a second by Commissioner Werman.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Commissioner Rains,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo,
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Welch,
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy,
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds,
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson,
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce, Commissioner Rogers,
Aye.
Commissioner Werman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend denial.
So Stephanie, is this still going to the council?
Yes,
27th.
it does.
So it's still gonna go towards the council. We need to make sure we tell them. It's still gonna go forward.
Yes.
So you'll have to speak in front of the council.
All right, next
That is-
case.
Thank you. Next case on the docket is ZC 25-1111. Case manager Lynn Jordan.
Is the applicant here? You can come forward, and are both mics on today? You can test it. Oh, there they are. Excellent.
Testing.
Sir, welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Madam Chair, and to the Zoning Commissioner Board. I'm here to request zoning change for the Old Glen Garden Baptist Church, which now is Focus Faith Missionary Baptist Church, to request zoning from a Zone B, which is a two-family resident, and E, a neighborhood commercial resident, to a CUP program, which would allow us to operate a housing, lodging housing. That's my request, from a B to a CUP.
All right, thank you very much. I also have one other person here speaking in favor of, whoop, wrong case, sorry. That's all I have in favor of. I do have someone here to speak in opposition. You'll have 2 minutes after the next gentleman comes up for rebuttal. So I've got a Reverend Kenneth Braxton. Yeah, and you can be seated and we'll call you right back up. Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to oppose this particular request. I am Reverend Kenneth D. Braxton, who resides at 3025 Glen Garden Drive North. This area is a historical neighborhood, and most of us own our homes. It's not feasible to have this particular facility to be approved because we have no city or public transportation that's adjacent to this facility, which means the people have to walk all the way down about 4 blocks to get to the nearest bus station. And when they do that, they come straight to the community walking. There's no sidewalks, which means they're walking in the streets. Sometimes they've been observed walking in the center of the street. We have noticed that there are people living there currently, and this haven't even been approved. So it's detrimental to our community, the upkeep, the maintenance, and the appearance of the community. We certainly don't want our property values to go down. Mostly, I am representing the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, and to the rebuttal of this, I have walked the community. I have signed request of churches, businesses, residential people living in the area, and in my hand and in this folder to present to you, Mr. Chair. No one is living there. No one is living there that walks in the middle of the street or anything. We don't allow that. We have strict rules. The application that's in the folder, we checked background check, jobs, past living, all of that. The church has been there, and this project that we are trying to get approved is solely for the resources for the church. So that's why I'm requesting a zoning change.
Thank you. At this time, I will open it up for questions. Commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Battle, I have a question.
Sir?
Commissioner Pierce has a question for you.
Question. So your residence, is this low to moderate? Is it ex-offender or are these members from your church that need to rent?
It's a combine of the two of all of the above. What we do, we provide the housing for members of the church, family members of the church, and other people that cannot afford to stay in a regular apartment because of their income. We pay the bills for them, and they rent month by month the apartment.
Okay. When you say pay the bills, meaning you pay their utilities or?
Utilities, yes.
Okay. So not necessarily low to moderate, it's like a incentive or an amenity from your church to the members in the community, people that need help.
Yes, yes. Not a halfway house, not a group home, anything like that, but more of a lodging, hotel type business that they can come in and rent. And that's for anyone who have the money and can meet the criteria.
So they are actually paying for rent?
Yes,
Is it based on their income, their rent?
yes, based on their income. And not so much based on their income. We have rooms that starts from $600 to $900. One bedroom, single, or two room place. And if they can afford $900 with if their income will allow them to do so, well, then that's what they do.
It sounds like it's more or less like an extended stay, kind of based on your income, is what it sounds like it is. Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other
I have a question.
questions?
Do your tenants have vehicles? And is there
Yes,
parking?
yes.
Enough parking for each unit?
Yes, a couple of them have vehicles, and there is parking space for them.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will close the public hearing and leave it open for further discussion or a motion. Oh, if you turned your mic off, you might have to get IT's help. Now, you might use someone's mic next to you for a moment, and I'll have to come fix it.
Thank you, Chief.
Let's try it now. They said it's working now.
Okay. Thank you. I think what you're doing, considering that the inflated times that we are in right now and also the housing shortage that we're having, there's so many people from California, East Coast. I mean, you've seen the stats that are relocating to Texas. So I think it's a great amenity that you're doing through the church, where you're allowing people to have a decent, clean place to live, and it's also according to their income. So I think that's a great amenity to the community and to the city of Fort Worth based on our current economic state. So I move to approve it.
Do you want to repeat the case number?
I will. Thank you, sir. In the case of ZC25111, I move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Pierce to approve and a second by Commissioner Mayo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines.
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo.
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Nay.
Commissioner Welch.
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy.
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce. Commissioner Rogers.
Aye.
Commissioner Werman.
Aye.
And Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
With a vote of 10 to 1, The zoning commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is ZC-25-144, located at 9000 Trinity Boulevard. We have not received any communications regarding this case.
Welcome to the zoning commission.
Hello, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Ray Ojeski speaking on the applicant's request here today. Let me switch to my PowerPoint here. And can you move it for me? Perfect. One more page, please. Thank you. All right. Commissioners, Sweeping Corp of America, the applicant for this case today, is a national provider of sweeping services that's been operating in the DFW area since 2004 and out of this facility at Trinity Boulevard since 2017. The Trinity Boulevard facility provides sweeping and debris removal services for multiple municipalities and TxDOT roadways throughout the North Texas area, including Tarrant County. This facility houses a fleet of 69 vehicles that are actively used in the daily operations of the sweeping, and you can see here from this visual site here that the vehicles that you see are all vehicles that are utilized by the company, although the company does share a location with Advanced Aero Coating. Most of the operation you see just on the outside of the buildings is equipment of Sweeping Corp. Approximately 6 to 8 debris removal, debris removal crews are deployed to collect debris from the TxDOT roadways throughout North Texas. The collected materials, typically accident remnants, discarded furniture, trash, tires, and other roadside waste are brought back to the facility and then placed in 20 to 30-yard roll-off dumpsters. The dumpsters are then transported by the roll-off drivers to one or two of the designated landfills here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So just to be clear, this is not a collection site that remains on the site. It actually comes to this location and then gets transported off to another facility, which is the only thing this zoning change would allow them to do, is to collect and then remove. On a typical day, there's between 4 to 8 sweepers deployed during the day shift, and then 4 to 6 sweepers during the night shift. The municipal clients include Arlington, Grand Prairie, Richland Hills, Azle, and On Call with Fort Worth, although Fort Worth does have their own sweeping fleet now. So at the end of each shift, the equipment returns back to this site, and the debris is collected in 2 ways. The mechanical broom sweepers actually deposit their material directly into the roll-off dumpsters, and then what they have are the regenerative air sweepers. They actually deposit their materials into a concrete pad, which is located on the site. And then the material that's dumped into this contained area ends up getting picked up by a front-end loader and then actually placed into the roll-off dumpsters. As you can see in this photo, this is just an example of the type of things that equipment picks up. You see construction barriers, mattresses, cones, different types of debris that typically cannot be swept up by the automatic sweeper that you typically see on the roadways. Would like to emphasize that no individuals, companies, or third parties, outside entities can bring material to this site. It is specifically for this company to dispose of the material that they pick up. And just in the event of adverse weather, that creates a potential for rainfall that could accumulate in amounts that could possibly cause the debris to escape the concrete pad. They do have a portable metal gate, which they can span across the entire entrance to this facility that will actually keep the material from escaping from the pad. And this is just what it looks like at the conclusion of the business day. So by the time the company is through with their shifts, they have their pad cleared and into these dumpsters so that the material in this concrete contained area does not remain on the site for more than 24, maybe 48 hours if they have a holiday schedule that they're dealing with. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Ray. I don't show anybody signed up to speak in opposition on this case. So you do have two other folks signed up to speak in favor. They're just here to ask questions or answer questions.
Absolutely, yes.
Any questions, commissioners? Okay, thank you very much. At this time, I will close the public hearing and leave it open for discussion or a motion.
Mr. Chairman, in case ZC 25-144, I see there's no opposition. It's been carefully submitted and vetted. The commission had some questions. They were all answered during the workshop. And based on that, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Edmonds to approve and second by Commissioner Trujillo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds? Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce? Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval of this case. Next case on the docket is zoning case ZC 25-178. Site location is 1020 through 1030 Evans, North Sylvania Avenue.
All right, is the applicant present? Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So here we have a proposition to go from ER to E with the conditional use permit for a food truck. The reason behind E is to have for future development for suites on the north side of that building where that vacant lot is currently sitting. Currently ER under 5,000 square feet, we have to have exits for every suite, and these are small suites for like barbers, estheticians, for small business. Any questions?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And there's no one here to speak in opposition, so if there are no questions, commissioners?
Actually, I do have one question. There is also the addition for the coupe to come with it for the food truck.
I'm sorry?
You've got the cup, the CUP addition request on there. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, so the food truck, that's for the community for after hours. Food truck is going to be a proposed opening from like 7 to 12 to sell food for the community, which will be, the food truck will be powered by the building. So there's not going to be like any loud generators, stuff like that.
So to clarify, 7 p.m. to midnight, or what are they?
Correct. Somewhere along those lines, depending on the services that we're going to lease out to a potential owner for a food truck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
What about a timeline for the cup? We're gonna, should we set it
Do you have
for
a question, or do you want me to close it? Do you have a question for
Yeah, I guess we need to
the applicant, or?
Or
Oh, just our discussion?
we can close it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and now open it up for some discussion.
Yeah, I believe we should put a, time requirement on the cup as well in case things don't work out.
Yeah, that's certainly an option. That's something that we could consider, certainly. I think they mentioned during work session, there's kind of a built-in, like every 6 months, the individual food vendor has to
Certified.
reapply and get approval by everyone that lives within 100 feet.
Is the
That's
recertification,
correct.
the reapplication for the
Yeah,
truck
but we
itself
could
or the
put
location?
something like that in for just food truck period for a year, 2 years, 5 years, we could put in
That's a
something
good
like that.
question.
That's certainly an option.
Right, so they could bring in new trucks and you wouldn't have to do that necessarily.
Yeah, if the recertification for the food truck follows the truck, not the location, then what's to say they can't either shift the old person out and bring in another one?
But they would have to get that certification to even start.
But, I mean, a food truck, if you've invested the money in the truck, you've already applied for your permit.
I mean, if I understand it correctly, though, they would have to go to the neighbors and get them to agree first.
That is
before
For a
they
new
even start
food
it.
truck
Yeah.
to roll onto the property?
Before they can operate on the property.
That is correct. Any food truck that is looking to operate on that property would have to go through that process.
So it would be attached to the physical ground address, not the truck and the operator.
It's attached to the truck.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is if it's attached to the truck and not the physical address of the ground,
Mhm.
then what's to say that out goes truck A because their permit's expiring or they want to go elsewhere? They had an argument.
Yeah.
Truck B rolls in and it's not being operated.
Nobody's the wiser if the city doesn't
But B
actively
still has
look at
to,
it.
Burn is what I'm
B
saying.
still
have
has
to go
to
get it.
apply for that same application before they can start serving food. So they have to get the neighbors to certify as well, before the city can come out and say, okay, you can sell food here.
Yeah, they just
still
can't
have to
roll
do
cart
it.
there.
Correct?
That is correct.
Hire,
That is
I mean,
correct.
you hire a food truck to come to your house or your business for an event.
I think catering's different.
Yeah.
Correct?
It is so those it falls into a different category. Those are more temporary.
Like an event permit
Okay.
or something.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But we still could tie something, but
Mhm.
that 6-month thing kind of, in a way,
Yes,
took care of it, but
the time on the cup would basically is regarding to the land use. So you would give that property that is tied to the property. So you are only allowing that type of use to occur on the property, let's say 2 years or 4 years or whatever that time period is for. So it's separate from the requirements for the vendor itself.
Thank you.
what are you thinking, Commissioner Castro?
Yes, so given the feedback we got in work session that either way, if a food truck does clear through all that permit process, that they would still have a 6-month review by the neighbors. I move that we approve ZZ 25-178.
I think I heard that you move approval on ZC 25178.
Correct, yes, Commissioner.
Before we proceed, with no time limit on the CUP. Not 3 years, 5 years, in perpetuity.
At least do 24 months.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Robinson.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Nay.
Commissioner McCoy?
Nay.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Yay.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce? Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Nay.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 7-4, the zoning commission votes to recommend approval of this case. Next case on the agenda is zoning case ZC 25-193. Site location is 4000 through 4016 Evans, East Berry Street, and 3208 Freddie Street. We have, Commissioners, we have not received any letters in support or opposition for this case.
All right, is the applicant present? Welcome to the zoning commission.
Thank you.
You want to pull that mic up, it's a little sensitive. Yeah, there you go.
How's that? We're okay?
Much
All
better.
right.
Thank you.
So I'm here in support of, I'm asking for a C cup or the cup permit. I own and operate Three Rivers CDL. And what we do, what we do is we give, we certify individuals for their Class A as well as Class B CDLs. I have, currently I have 2 trucks, I'm sorry, 3 trucks on the property. I'm only asking for 1. The other 2 can be removed. So what we do, we teach people backing and as well as safety on our trucks. Let's see, I think that's all I have. Questions, concerns?
I see on here you show daylight hours only. Is that 5 days a week, 7 days a week?
So we operate Monday through Friday. Sometimes under circumstances, individuals will ask us to come in on the weekends. So I try to make myself available on Saturdays, excluding Sundays.
Okay. All right, very good. We do have one person signed up to speak in opposition. You'll have a chance to come back up for a 2-minute rebuttal. So I've got a Tommy Swanson. Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Good afternoon. I'm Tommy Swanson, and I rise in opposition to this proposal because I bought this property on 3204 Donnelly Street there. I bought that over 40 years ago. And I was hoping by now that we would see the quality of the residences in that area improve or increase by now. I've never seen those roads redone or concreted or anything like that. I don't know if they are capable of handling a semi-truck going up and down the road as this gentleman is proposing. That is not my idea of what the residences should have to endure in their homes, is big trucks coming up and down the streets. That's not an increase in the quality of life for the residences there. That does nothing to improve or increase the value of my property. I applaud the gentleman for his entrepreneurship. I just don't think that the residential area is a place for something that could, whether it's stated or not, it comes across to me as light industrial. And I've lived that through my property on Morningside. These trucks going up and down the street all the time, it does not improve the quality of life for residences. I would like to see investments with sidewalks, better lighting, redo the roads, improve it to make people more proud of the neighborhood. There are places for this brother to do those trucking schools. I just don't believe that it's appropriate in a residential area. That's my position on it.
Thank you very much. And sir, you have 2 minutes.
First, I want to say thank you. I appreciate your comment and your position on it. I said I want to say thank you, and I appreciate your comment and your position on it. Before the neighborhood, he had expressed a concern on the neighborhood and how it affects the neighborhood. I have a letter from one of our funders that we fund the area. I have trained and certified 87 students. Out of the 87 students, 78 of those have gone on, which is a 90% success rate. 78 of those 87 have gone on to acquire jobs. And I personally have employed 2 of the 78. We have one of the trucks on the second page, I want to say. I think it's the second page on this. The red truck, yes. So that red truck there is after we get the individuals, their CDLs, we actually give them live loads. That truck in particular will not be there. And then the truck there on the right is a standard, and that will not, that won't be there. The only truck that will be there will be the one on the left, which is an automatic. So that's actually rated at 26.1, which just covers the weight to be considered a Class A CDL. The trailer that it will be maneuvering is a 28-foot trailer. So when you express some concerns as far as weight and tearing up the roads, its total weight is going to be 30. I believe it was 34,008, which is well under your 80,000, which is your standard 18-wheelers, is what they will see on the road. So again, I just wanted to express gratitude and thank you for your concern. But the trucks that we'll be using will be well under that $80,000 weight threshold.
All right, thank you very much. All right, do we have any questions for the applicant? You can step up one. I think we're going to
I
have
have
some
one
questions for
question.
you.
So,
Yeah, we're going to have a few questions for you. Yeah, yes, sir.
So, have you considered moving that? Because I get what the opposition is saying, because I'm familiar with Berry, and all these trucks are parked, especially on East Berry. They're parked all over, and the roads are not in bad shape. And so, have you considered maybe working with an industrial facility to say, hey, can I lease your spot, or can you just give me a spot so I can train some drivers that could both benefit you and that entity?
Okay, good question. So I have reached out to a couple of other individuals or facilities that have and presented them the opportunity, I guess, to for me to reside there and set up a business there. But because I'm primarily funded through Free World, which they fund a lot of our applicants through that are in lower income areas. The areas that I have found that's willing to allow me to come on, they don't fall in the zoning or in the zip code, so that the applicants can get funded. So, but I have reached out to other individuals to see if I can set up there.
So the zip code that they live in is based on the funding, or is it the zip code where your business is residing? Is it based
Yes.
on it?
So my business falls in the zip code. I believe that's and the applicants that are primary applicants that are in the area are funded there through Free World. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
So is this a free service or is it paid for these lessons and certification?
So it's a free service through the Free World. If my applicants, if they have a background or if they're unemployed, then Free World, the organization, sends them to me and we get them their Class A or Class B, whichever they prefer.
I'm familiar with that area, and there are no trucks that's parked up and down the street. There's a residential that's in the front, it's a grocery store, and then it's a probation officer on the corner. First of all, I want to commend you for what you're doing. I'm familiar with your program, almost 80 individuals that you've hired out of that community. My understanding is that church sits on a big campus, so basically you're teaching these individuals how to back in and back out right there on the campus of the church. So that's not a lot of traffic up and down Freddie Street or even on Berry Street in terms of how you're teaching your students. So I see it as an extra added. Once again, we have a church that is providing not only housing on the campus, but it's also providing training and sources for that community. That community over there, that's 76104 and 76105, it has a high unemployment rate, high crime rate, and so what you're doing is you're servicing the people in that community, and I commend you for that.
You said 87 students. How many people per year on average would you think you would get through that?
So last year when we completed 87, that was our highest record.
That wasn't a year?
The year before, I did 72, and then the year before that it was 68.
Do your students, do you drive the trucks off of the property and through the streets, or are they just learning the basics on property?
So they learn the basics as far as the backing goes. When I take them out for them to do like driving, we're actually highway, so we go straight to 287 And our route consists of 287 to 30 to 820. Then we'll
So
loop
do you
back.
immediately exit onto Berry Street? You don't go through the residential streets?
Correct. We're just on Berry and straight to
Straight
the
out to
highway.
Berry and straight to 287?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have one vehicle?
Yes, I'll only have one vehicle at the time. Like I say, that picture there shows an automatic and a standard. A standard, no one, I guess, wants to learn standard anymore, so that'll be obsolete. And then the large red truck there will be offsite at a yard.
How soon can you move these other two additional, how soon can you move these other additional 2 trucks?
Today.
Any other questions, Commissioner Castro? No. Other commissioners? All right. Thank you very much. At this time, we will close the public hearing and leave it open for a motion by Commissioner Castro or some more discussion.
This is a tough case.
Yeah.
Like what he's doing,
Yeah,
but I
from a-
totally understand a residential area, not one.
From just a zoning land use appropriateness, being in the middle of a residential area, it doesn't seem appropriate. I agree with everybody here. I don't think anybody disagreed that the work this gentleman is doing is tremendously needed, and I also commend you for this. My only hiccup in this is it appropriate in a residential area? But I also feel for the gentleman because he said he's reached out to other folks and can't find a place, and he's just got one truck. So yeah, like Commissioner Welch said, it's a tough one. I think your mic turned off again.
It's not necessarily, it's not in a residential area. That church is facing Berry, and then there's another building across the street, and there's residential, then there's commercial, there's a grocery store. So it's not landlocked in a residential area. As he said, he teaches and he trains them how to back in and out on the property. They exit the property, they get on Berry and go straight down to 287. So it's in a residential area, but it's not landlocked, if you can visualize what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
It's not landlocked inside of a residential area. It's not.
Well, there's clearly residential homes around the property, and
Right, but it's not landlocked.
okay. The issue for me would be a tractor trailer, whether it's a 53-footer or a 20-footer. They have air brakes. I'm sure they have to practice the horn when they're backing up. You have the backup siren. You have a lot of noise that comes from an 18-wheeler, in addition to diesel fumes and that idling. I'm sure the trucks will idle all day long. And so that causes me a concern where I like the program, but I don't think it's the right area for it. I really like the program, but I don't like the.
Well, he stated that it was during the day. It was during the day and one truck. They also, right, it's during the day and there's one truck.
Granted.
Right, it's not in the afternoon when people are sleeping, it's while people are working and driving. There's a major street right there, so it's right.
Well, that's
people are
makes the
working,
assumption
so it's
that
not like people are
someone's
asleep.
not retired, someone's
No.
not sick.
There's a store
There's
right
not
next
children.
door to it, so it's a busy. It's a busy area. These people are not asleep.
I understand that. But not everybody works. Some people take care of children. Some people are retired. Some people move there or purchase their home and they want quiet, peaceful enjoyment of the property that they purchased. And they don't want a 18-wheeler idling all day long, 5, sometimes 6 days a week.
That's not the case in that area. It's not.
Berry is pretty busy too. I mean,
It's extremely busy over there. Not
There's a-
that area over there. I understand what you're saying, but not in that. If
Would this make it worse or better?
it will make it better. Those people need jobs over there. They need opportunities. And that's what he's providing. And he's also providing a grant where they go for free. And these people need that in that area.
Commissioner Castro?
Do I have permission for one more question for the applicant?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
What?
Sir, would you mind coming back up real quick? She's got another question for you. reopen the public hearing real quick.
Yes, sir. In reference to the grant, what is that grant period that you have it open for?
What is the grant period?
You mentioned that this is being made possible because of a grant.
Yes.
What's the open period that that grant can continue?
So it was just so we don't have a cutoff for it. And I believe this is what you're asking me. It's been, I'd say I received the grant in 2018, and so it's been ongoing since then. I know that every, I want to say 2 years, and so that would be, I guess I'm coming up on my third one, that it was just approved.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick question.
Commissioner Evans.
I'm looking at the request, just want to make sure I understand it. It says, development standards for one truck to remain on the premise during the daylight hours only and allow existing structures within the projected front backyard, et cetera. Does that mean that you're going to be training with one truck on the premises during the day?
Yes.
And it will be removed from the premises at the end of the day?
Correct. So I can, the hours of operation, I can only operate during the day when we're training. So after dark or prior in the early mornings, we don't have any operations going on.
Where do the trucks go?
I'm sorry?
Over here, sir. My question was, where do the trucks go?
So I move, they'll be moved to Mansfield, off Mansfield Highway. There's a truck yard there that is about a mile. I guess that would give roughly about 1.5 miles to 2 miles away.
And so the 2 additional trucks, you're going to move to that
We'll move there.
lot, and then you're going to
And the
take the
third one.
training truck daily to Mansfield and back?
About 1 mile away, 1.5 miles.
Yes, Mansfield Highway.
Have you looked into using the yard in Mansfield as a training location?
So I'm the state has to approve
Oh, it's a
where I
zip
am.
code thing.
Right, and so it's a zoning. So I've already got approved for the current location that it's at with Austin.
I understand this.
Okay.
I've had it.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, we'll close the public hearing again. And Commissioner Castro, do you have everything you need?
Can a timeline be put on this? Would that
I was going to ask the same question, you know, if
That's a CUP, so yeah.
people would be more apt to move forward with this on a temporary basis
and then if it's
as
working?
a trial, you know, if there was time. Specifically, I was going to ask Matt if that.
No, I totally agree with it. I would think, I see it as a 2 to 3. I think 5 would be too much.
Well, he said his grant just got renewed and it's every 2 years.
Yeah.
I think 2 years would be perfect for that. And then in the meantime, he could still also be looking for alternate locations within that zip code that could help better suit that need.
Yeah, 'cause it sounds like it's probably part of a HUD type situation where you have to be in a certain zip code for his folks to be able to get those grants.
And
So-
to clarify for the applicant, if we were to put a 2-year time limit on it, he could come back and reapply.
Right, yeah, then he could operate for 2 years if we were to approve it and council were to agree and they were to approve it with the same 2-year. Then he could operate for 2 years, just like he is now, like he's requesting, and then after 2 years, come back and ask for it again.
Okay.
That's an option, certainly.
Just make sure that you reapply before it expires. Please. Because every time we get some of these cases where there's code mixed in from the front or the back end, it makes it more sticky. It gives more leverage to a denial. And just be on top of your dates and everything else. So there's no nastiness.
And if somebody's got a vacant lot in a HUD district, please contact Mr. Micah Middlebrooks and hook him up.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Castro?
Okay, so in CC 25-193, I move to approve with the cup of 2 years.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve with a 2-year time limit by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Warman.
Second.
It was already seconded.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think Commissioner Werman already
No, Werman
seconded.
did. He got you.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce? Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
And Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is zoning case ZC 25-196. Location is at 7250 West Vickery Boulevard. Commissioners, we've received 2 letters in support and 1 letter of opposition.
All right, is the applicant present? Please come forward. And welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Thank you.
You'll have to get kind of close to that mic.
Okay, great. Our project is to build a private facility. It will be, it'll house a private antique car collection. It will have a fence all the way around it, including a sliding fence on the street. And my engineering group from Evolving is here to answer questions on the development as well.
Very good. We don't have any opposition signed up to speak. So do we have any questions, commissioners, for the applicant?
What kind of screening fence do you anticipate?
On the sides, it'll be solid, and then on the street one, it will be a sliding fence. It'll be iron. It'll be very attractive.
When you say solid, is that solid wood? Is it solid masonry?
Oh, for the side ones, those
Yes,
will be
ma'am.
wood. Yeah, that's in keeping with what the
6 foot, 8 foot?
8 foot is what we proposed, correct? 8 foot, yes, sir. And there is an apartment complex just to the side, and the reason really to add that, there's a lot of loitering that goes on that lot currently, and so this will really help kind of tidy up the neighborhood, and what might go on there won't be going on there anymore.
Have you spoken to the neighbors that your property is adjacent to?
Yes, sir, we have.
What's the word?
Everybody's very supportive of it.
Oh.
They're excited to see it cleaned
Excited,
up and-
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
The one opposition letter we have, though, is neighbor within 300 feet. Just
There was one opposition letter.
One letter, just put that in the record.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time, I will close the public hearing and leave it open for a motion or further discussion. And Commissioner Welch?
I'm ready to make a motion unless anybody wants to talk about it. Okay. For the case of ZC 25-196, I move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Welch and a second by Commissioner Trujillo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is zoning case 25-197, located at 504 Northwest 25th Street. Commissioners, we have not received any letters in support or opposition.
Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Brianna Baugh. I want to start out by saying our goal with this request is to create a project that fits naturally in the neighborhood while improving the overall experience of that area. Walkability is very important to us. We want a development that encourages people to move through the neighborhood safely on foot, connect to nearby uses, and reduce dependence on cars when possible. Equally important is greenery and aesthetics. We're committed to a thoughtful design, landscaping, visual quality that enhances the streets rather than distracts from it. That includes intentional building placement, pedestrian-friendly frontage, and green elements that may soften the area and contribute to the neighborhood character. We see this as an opportunity to elevate the area, adding value not just to the property, but to the surrounding community, while remaining respectful to nearby residents. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do you have any plans, drawings, or anything to show what you guys are planning on putting there?
So we have kind of bounced this project. Let me share. Am I able to share a photo with you guys somehow?
Yes, if you can hand it to, is it printed out? Oh, it's, yeah, we can probably see it on that, if they can put it under our little projector here.
So this is working. So this is a mock-up that we were kind of using as inspo. Our goal is to have 5 tiny homes on that property. At one point, it did have 4 homes. There was homeless people in there, squatters, all kinds of stuff. Since then, we've been able to have them removed from the property and kind of clean that up. So now we're wanting to demo the current building that is on there and build something new.
So 5 tiny homes is the idea.
Yes. And then there's enough space for parking behind that as well.
And they'll all face 25th Street?
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. What would be the price range if these rentals? What would be the price range on those?
So if we're doing like short terms, it'd be about $200 a night.
Okay.
And then if there were long term, we would, we'd have to run the numbers to see what the cost is. But it's more of, because it is so close to the stockyards, having that option to where, with tourists and stuff coming into the area, somewhere close that they can stay and walk to those necessary areas without having to drive and do all that stuff.
So you're looking at this more of a short term?
Pretty much.
All right. And there's no one signed up to speak in opposition, like we said, so.
I'm just
Any
curious, why
questions?
why staff, did they recommend neighborhood commercial for this then?
Sorry, couldn't hear you. What was that?
So did staff recommend neighborhood commercial for this, being that it's 5 small homes?
Yeah, we were kind of going back and forth with this for a while. When we originally were trying to go for MU1, this was prior to the Texas laws changing in September. So since then, they were suggesting that we would go to E. That way, it does allow for that multi properties on one parcel.
All right, any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you very much.
Cool.
At this time, we will close the public hearing and leave it open for some discussion or a motion.
Can we see the overview of the lots?
Yeah. There it is. So you can see there's, looks like commercial directly across the street. Yep,
It's a
there it is.
convenience store.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's peppered with E all over the place.
Yep.
That if, I mean, look, if something were to not work out with this, it's zoned like the rest of the area.
Yeah, and still, the
Probably how
zoning
it
still
will
works.
be. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it would also allow them to have another component on their property to either support this or just be an amenity nearby.
Yeah, they could have a coffee shop
Yeah,
and 3
something
small
along those
houses, or-
lines.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Creative solution staff. Good job.
Yeah. You have everything you need?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, so
For it.
for ZZ 25-197, I move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Trujillo and a second by Commissioner Rogers.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds? Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the zoning commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is zoning case 25-198. Site location is at 2517 through 2531 Odds Hemp Hill Street. Commissioners, we've received 40 letters in support and 0 letters of opposition.
Welcome to the zoning commission.
Hi, I have a presentation. Do I just click through or? That's not me.
Maybe go the other way, opposite direction.
Okay.
Do we have your, did you provide your presentation to us?
Yes, on the 12th.
Did you happen to bring it with you?
I didn't. I submitted it to Beth Knight and it was received and.
Give them a minute. Do you mind just talking about it for a minute and see if they can pull it up?
Yeah, so my name is Angie Blockowitz. I know y'all have seen me here a couple times, but today I'm here as the owner of the Morningside Project. This venture is my love letter to the community. I'm not a large corporation. This is simply myself and a couple neighbors who volunteer their time to bring something exceptional to our end of the corridor. I'd like to make note that I do not think this case was accurately represented in the work session. As y'all's first impression of what it is, it was noted about an office expansion. However, we did submit to planning that there would not be an expansion, and the Castro gate on the carport was mainly to keep the homeless from camping underneath it. As far as parking, people would never drive through the vendors during any events, and we control the setup, and at no point has that ever been the case. And we would like to again clarify that everything on the site plan that was submitted will not ever be the case. That was at Planning and Development's request that we submit everything on one site plan. However, we did insist on submitting the supplemental ones because, again, it's never going to look like that. And on my presentation, I've got the different site plans. Is it up yet or? Okay. So the Morningside Project is a community-focused space that was created through conversations and meetings with neighborhood associations along the Hemp Hill corridor, guidance from our city, suggestions from our sitting councilwoman, and a shared desire to bring something positive to our own backyard. The fork yard at the Morningside Project has helped create a walkable third space that the community has long desired and has allowed small businesses to thrive. In approving this request, you allow the fork yard, the portion of the property we are here for today, to continue helping the South Side thrive. We have received nothing but positive feedback for this space, and I'm on site at all events and most evenings when vendors are present. And in speaking with patrons, we consistently hear that they love being able to walk there, meet their neighbors, and enjoy a safe gathering place. We welcome visitors to not only from our immediate area in Fort Worth, but also from Burleson, Arlington, Denton, and visiting parents from TCU students from across the country, supporting tourism in a way that complements our neighborhood, as well as keeping homeless camps and vandalism from occurring on the property. The fork yard has brought unique food options to our end of the Hemp Hill corridor, walkability for myself and my neighbors, which, if you know that area of Hemp Hill, that is unheard of south of Allen Street, and opportunities for small businesses to grow close to home. It has also given us a place to share city resources and information that many residents may not have otherwise been aware of or had access to. If you could go to the 6th slide. For the past 6 months, we believed we were in full compliance with zoning, and once it was brought to our attention that we were not, we immediately began working to address the issue as we take zoning compliance very seriously. Our small events are Friday through Sunday and as scheduled, and all events end by 10 p.m. If you could just go and I'll tell you when to stop. Right there. So we are here today requesting approval to continue operating as we have under a CUP for the property, allowing our picnic tables and solar string lights to remain on site for continuous use, permitting multiple mobile food vendors, allowing reoccurring events without individual permits, and not requiring curbs or wheel stops in the northeast corner of parking area, and the swing caster wheel gate on both sides of the carport. Can you, next one? Again, the city specified that the site plan submitted needs to have everything, even though it does not accurately represent how the space is used. You'll also notice that there is not a stage on these layouts I'm showing, and that is because it is not something we have locked in yet. We were advised all future uses should be put on there as well. And when and if the stage does come onto the property, it will be removable and it would be in the noted corner. However, we don't anticipate like all the food trucks being on site at that time. So this is what the Fork Yard typically looks like. Mobile food vendors are generally on site from Thursday through Sunday with flexibility to operate any day of the week within zoning approved hours. The next slide. We generally host pop-ups on Fridays and Saturdays, with Fridays being more family-friendly oriented. Neighbors walk from their homes with their children, bring bikes, and spend time eating and enjoying the safe third space that we've created and successfully maintained. All amplified music ends at 10 p.m., and there is no alcohol sold on site. These evenings typically include anywhere from 1 to 5 food trucks and a small number of 10 by 10 vendors. Oh, you can go back, sorry. That is what the Friday layouts will look like. The squares are the 10 by 10 vendors. Go to the next one. Again, all events end by 10 p.m. and are Friday through Saturday. Our weekend pop-ups generally include more organized style hosting up to 32 local vendors, including mobile food trucks, and we have written permission from the Garcia family to use their parking lot at 512 and 520 Mulkey Street, which provides overflow parking spaces when needed. Based on our foot traffic counts, at no point do we have more than 50 to 100 people on site at any given time. These images reflect what our smaller weekend pop-ups look like. The next one. Based on national standards for gathering of 50 to 100 people, we have 2 permanent restrooms inside the building and supplement with a portable restroom on weekends as needed. However, based on data collected from previous events, attendance is spread out over approximately 4 hours and does not occur all at once. Parking has never been an issue. For weekend events, we provide parking attendants. On Fridays, most patrons arrive briefly to pick up food, while those who walk over are typically the ones who stay for the duration of the evening. If we use the amount of reduced parking the city says we need, we would be at 35 stalls, but during regular events, we would peak at 28 stalls. We have 35 parking spaces on the property, as well as 15 parking spots along the back wall. However, during this process, we were informed that since the last time this property was at zoning, the setback requirement has increased to 20 feet and has eliminated those additional parkings. We have consent from the residents on South Jennings Street and plan to get the ones who weren't home between now and city council, as well as the 40 letters of support submitted to zoning. We do not use the large pole lights along the back wall in order to reduce light pollution for our neighbors to the east. All of our mobile vendors follow city permits and guidelines. They have their own water reserves and no waste will or is ever dumped on our property. And we have electricity pending being turned on to eliminate any noise pollution from generators.
All right, thank you very much. We don't have anybody signed up for opposition. And before we move into questions, I've got one for staff. Just want to make sure that we get this right. We're on the same page. So this says site plan included. Which site plan are we going with? Now there's multiple site plans being presented to us.
So to avoid any confusion about which site plan was appropriate for which day, we put the most intensive one out there. She could always have less than what is there, but would not have more. Okay. Do keep in mind that the applicant said that there were portable restrooms that she uses, but these are not shown on her site plan.
Okay. So if we approve this as is, portable restrooms would not be allowed?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
Aren't there restrooms in the office building? In the
Yes,
set of-
there are. And
Got you,
those are the ones that, because for events like this, the restroom that folks are supposed to use with a food truck is supposed to be permanently plumbed. Only for special events, like Main Street Arts Festival, are there informal restrooms that are brought in just for the duration of that event.
Is there a minimum number of restrooms that have to be permanent for the number of food trucks?
That's one of the, we don't have the information on the number of restrooms. That's a question for the applicant.
No,
I'm saying, does the city require, so if you have 10 food trucks, do you need X amount of bathroom capacity that's permanent?
Commissioner Trujillo, according to the ordinance, you have to have at least one restroom facility for each sex, I guess. So a male and a female.
Regardless of how many trucks, food trucks you have on site?
Correct.
Okay.
Will there be trash collection, a dumpster, a roll-off?
The applicant's site plan shows a dumpster being permanently placed in the northeast corner of the lot.
And then the food trucks, are they following that same licensing standard, being within 100 feet of residents?
They would, yes.
They
Yes,
are. That's one of the reasons why there's the development waiver on there. Because the applicant has indicated that there is a number of food trucks that would come in and out. The applicant is also asking to waive the requirement that the individual food trucks get their own permission from the adjacent property owners.
So question for the applicant, do you have a typical standard, entertainment that you do, and then there's only special occasions where you have a larger volume per se, where you can get a special use permit for that specific event?
We have never exceeded 500 people, which is what a special event permit is needed for. So no, we haven't ever done that. At most, we're looking at 50 to 100 people over the duration of 4 hours, which is how long the events last.
Any other questions for the applicant? Commissioner Castro, do you have anything?
So, given the current circumstances where it looks like there's a disconnect with the site plan that we want to reflect and vote on, I think it would be best to ask for a continuance.
Can you speak into your mic?
Yes, I think it would be best if we could ask for a continuance so that we have the correct site plan and both the staff and the applicant are on the same page to ensure that we are looking at the most accurate images.
I think the only
So we are looking at the most accurate image. This is the most intensive site plan that the applicant has presented. The applicant wants to do multiple site plans for different events or different days. It is very hard for staff to decide if they walked up for code compliance to say, what site plan is appropriate for today? So we're looking at, this would be the maximum that would be on site. She could always have less, but it would never be more than this. So this is the accurate site plan.
So this is a question for the applicant. So little minor details that may actually make a big difference, like not showing a portable restroom on here. Do you want some time to go back and get this right?
Well, when we had talked with planning, they had advised that it wouldn't be allowed, so that's why it was removed off the site plan. And we are okay not putting a porta potty.
You're okay not putting one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a make or break deal for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so what we're looking at, thank you very much. Why don't we close the public hearing right now and discuss? So this is the most intensive thing that can happen, so that's why we're voting on that. And it sounds like the applicant's okay with us voting on this version. They could always do less. This would be the maximum. So thoughts?
That's where if they're not doing this maximum, on a daily basis, they could change this to be less intensive, which would fit more in with city requirements.
Yeah.
And if they had this full intense event going on, they could get a special use permit for that specific event, which would then allow them to do it.
Yeah, and having the overflow lot, I didn't know about that until they presented that. That certainly makes me feel a little bit better on parking. I also didn't realize how many people they were having walking from their homes in the neighborhood to this. I thought it was going to be a really car-intensive situation.
But are they locked into these positions on the site plan? Because what was said that you can always do less, has my mind spinning about every site plan we've asked for the last 5 years. And, can somebody move a building 50 feet if it's less intense than what they had? So with these, they're marked, are those the only locations where those can be on that site?
So you're saying, can they just flop this, just like move the food trucks on the opposite side, move
Yeah,
the vendors
they
and move the
took-
parking over there?
Right, 4 tents this way, 2 trucks that way, it's less intense.
Question,
Commissioner
staff.
Werman, they cannot make changes like that. So so once you have a site plan approved, that's how you have to develop the property. Now, there are some minor changes that you can make. The zoning ordinance specifies what you can do as a minor change to a site plan, and without having to come back here to for you all to see it, it could be administratively approved. But what you see here is how they generally have to develop. Now, she could have, as Beth mentioned, she could have less tents, but they have to be in the same area as what you're seeing now. So she couldn't flip them and they'd be along West Morningside, like drive, that frontage. You couldn't do that, but they have to be in the same general area as what's being approved here.
Okay. And the other site plans that we were shown, they did just show generally that, and then just remove some of the tents. Everything was generally in the same spot, just fewer. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And this was in response to a code violation asking for a CUP?
That is correct.
Which is our code system is a complaint system, so from neighbors, I assume?
Beth, do you have additional information on the code case for this?
So one of the main items for our code compliance system is that even if it is complaint-based driven, that the complainant is not named publicly. So we're not able to share that information. But the complaints have gone back through September, August, that sort of timeframe.
So do we know the nature of the complaints, though?
Yeah.
The nature of the complaints are illegal land use without a proper certificate of occupancy.
so it sounds like
Because
they
the-
received it, and that's why they're here.
Their certificate of occupancy only covers the office use inside the building. It doesn't cover any of the outdoor entertainment uses that are in the parking lot.
Can we open the floor back up for the applicant to answer this question?
Can I have the applicant, can we reopen the public hearing and have the applicant answer that question?
It was the code compliance officer who said she drove by and saw it. And we pulled the records report from the city, and there wasn't a complaint filed. It was filed by that code compliance officer. And we have the emails to represent that.
Thank you. All right. Reclose the public hearing. Okay. This is another one we could consider a time limit.
Good idea, given the
I mean,
nature of
just for one.
Okay, I got a question.
There's a request for a time limit in the,
3 to 5 years.
for sure.
They also requested that the vendors don't go through the process of being approved by the neighborhood. They wanted to waive that, right? Did I hear that?
We can't hear you.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
And so didn't the neighbors, they wanted a waiver to remove the vendors, true direct owners are getting that approval from the neighborhood? I don't think that, I'm not gonna sign off on that one.
Can we ask what the reasoning is for that?
Yeah, why is that?
Go ahead, you can come back up again.
Go back.
Reopen the public hearing.
Again.
We have multiple vendors that come through, and some of them are not always going to stay. We like to offer a free weekend to make sure that what we have and where we're at is going to work for them. As well as if we need to, we can. That's not an issue for us to go to our neighbors and ask them for their signature anytime we get a new truck on site.
So you would be open to removing that part?
Yeah. So like as of right now, we do have, like I said, the support of our neighbors, so
Yeah, but they would have to do that every 6 months, so.
that's okay. I live with them, so.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
But is
Okay,
it
so
every
that's
s-
something you could strike if you wanted to. They would be open to that, so that they would have to go.
I like that this is a
receive that.
family-oriented, walkable
Yeah, it's a-
event for the
yeah,
neighborhood
great
to come
concept.
to.
Is it every
That-
6
in that
months
area where there's not a
for,
lot going on.
sorry, I apologize, Beth.
You're good.
Is it every 6 months for each individual food truck? So if a guide comes
Correct.
on January and then the next one's February,
Correct,
it's constantly rolling?
correct.
Seems kind of cumbersome.
I think that's why they asked for it originally, but she said if we don't like it, we can remove it, but that's why they asked for it, yes.
That's the
would be
health
s-
department
I'm
is tied to the
supportive
truck,
of that because of the time limit that's in place. Where the previous case we had today, there was no time limit, so it makes the most sense for that person to have to kind of reauthorize, make sure they're a good neighbor. But with these guys, gonna, maybe 2-3 years from now, they're gonna have to be back. We'll find out. Yeah, this is a great thing. These people love it. The area loves it. Let's keep it rolling. It just feels like a good fit, an opportunity to take that burden off, to allow them to focus on the product that's going out there and managing their vendors.
So you're good with the 3 years as it sits?
I'm good with the 3 years and not having to ask anybody within 50 feet because of the time limit. If it was an open-ended CUP, I think the time limit or the waiver would not make sense to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. And honestly, just the fact that the applicant's willing for us to remove it tells me they're pretty confident they're going to be able to get it.
I think we should keep in mind that this is really not a food court or a truck yard per se. This is it's a festival, especially with a stage with amplified music. I like it. I think it's very interesting. I have a concern that they've been notified that they have not been in compliance. And while they're here today, they've continued to operate out of compliance. So consideration should be, will they comply with the site map going forward? And then where's the checks on that?
That'll have to be code compliance.
May I add something? I know, I see her. They have not been, once they were notified about the code compliance situation, they did stop.
They stop.
I don't think it was like a malicious, probably like a just not understanding.
Yeah, they stopped operating.
Thanks for that clarification.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Castro, you ready to make a motion?
Sure. In CC 25-198, I move to approve and with the removal of the development waivers for a location less than 50 feet. I hope I said that correctly. For the 3 years.
So okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Castro to approve.
Hold on.
That's as written, correct?
Just to be clear, that's as it's, your motion is to approve as
As
written.
written? Or did you want to remove that? It sounded like she tried to remove that development waiver. One second, we'll clarify and we'll restate it. Okay, we'll restate the motion. Commissioner Castro?
So I move to approve CC 25-198 as written. 3 years.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Rogers.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo,
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Welch,
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy,
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds,
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson,
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce, Commissioner Rogers,
Aye.
Commissioner Werman,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
With a vote of 11 to 0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next item on the docket is zoning case 25-200, located at 541 and 693 Avondale Haslett Road. Commissioners, we have received 1 letter in support and 9 letters in opposition and 1 other or neutral letter.
Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Thank you. This is Landon King, LJA Engineering, as a representative of the applicant here. So this is a rezone of currently of MU1 and a UR high intense use to a less intense A5 single family residential, about 37 acres. So just to to clarify a couple things, I did take time to read some of the opposition letters. We also did meet with Councilman Blaylock and got his support previously. So this is an existing intense. I think I understand this area. There's a lot of concern about traffic and in this district, and we understand that and know that between development and the city, we're fixing some of those issues with the recent Avondale Haslett Road's getting an expansion. That construction is ongoing, actually. So this is actually a less intense use, actually. So from a traffic and congestion, this is actually going to put less trips on the road. And I think, again, there's already some entitlements, some intense entitlements on this property already. This is going to reduce some of those traffic concerns. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have, and thank you for your time today.
Okay, and we have no speakers signed up in opposition for this case. So do we have any questions by our commissioners?
Nope. Not yet.
I have one. So there are, I understand during the work session that you all own the property kind of around this smaller piece, this track 1A. Can you speak to the future plans? That's a lot of the concerns that we read in the opposition letters. They're not so much worried about, or there's still some concern about this, but more concern about what's next.
Yeah, so from a land use perspective, it's fully entitled. Right now, you can see to our west is an MU1 mixed use kind of form base. So as to the exact plans and timing, I'm not, I know it's allowed to go there, but I don't personally own it and I'm not developing it personally. But from a preliminary plating standpoint, which we are preliminary platted at this point, this pod that's just to our west here had a multifamily use on it, which is consistent with the zoning and the comp plan, frankly, there. So south of us is actually a lot of open space. There's a big floodplain. And so those are going to remain that way with, park and amenities and things like that. And all that to the south of us is going to remain open and unused. So
Any idea of approximately how many homes you're going to be able to fit on this this track with that? It looks like there's a existing gas well you'll have to avoid.
yeah, so that one that you see in the middle has actually been negotiated and purchased from the gas company and been plugged and abandoned. So we'll have approximately 130 homes,
130 homes.
which is significantly less than what we're entitled to today.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Werman? He likes the suspense. Give him a moment.
Like, it's not the suspense so much as this is such a huge area and what's coming behind it. I'm just trying to run the supercomputer and it's real slow.
Isn't this one of those situations we run into before where, we really don't have, it's already been said, like they can do MU1 right there.
Is there a development agreement in place?
Is there a development waiver?
No, an agreement, a master agreement.
No, this was straight zone. So this is just, this is actually consistent with the comp plan. So if you look at the comp plan, it's actually more intense than what we're proposing.
So in this area, especially north of Avondale Hazlet, sorry for the history lesson, east of Sendera Ranch Boulevard is a huge MU1 UR future project. You know, Sendera Ranch is a big community and there's more on top of it. The area is so big that it will probably have its own high school feeder pattern in the next 15 years, which is a high school, 2 middle schools, and 6 elementary schools. So it is less intense for sure to get out of that, especially if you look up to the north, there's even more of it. The properties to the east, those are all, I think those are all A5 as well, but they do have larger lots, or maybe they're 7.5s.
The property to the east is the city of Hazlet.
Right. So my thoughts are, and just because we want to be good neighbors, even though some cities don't want to be good neighbors to the east, trying to kind of align the size of the property to make it feel a little bit more cohesive, because we have done that for years here, where we don't want to stack big and small on top of each other. It would be just for the, your own planning, something like that will go over well with others. When you come back again and you have to do this, we may get people from Hazlet that are here.
Sure.
And if we can say, well, no, we're putting the exact same line behind you, it makes a lot more sense, and it's really easy for whoever the board is at that time and the commissions to deal with it.
Totally. Yeah, I think.
Thanks.
I think compatibility was part of this discussion as well, and this felt even more compatible with a little less intense use against the eastern boundary.
I have a question for you. Excuse me. Just a second ago, you had mentioned that you feel like your plan is more consistent with the comp plan.
No, it's not. It's not consistent with the comp plan. It's more compatible with, I would say, the land use around. And I was trying to get ahead of some of the concerns I was reading online of traffic congestion. The intensity of the land use seemed to be the subject of a lot of the letters I was reading about. And so my point is, what we're changing is something less intense. We're already entitled to a MU and a UR type of zoning here. So this is in the direction I would think of what most people would want, in the sense of it's less units in this particular pod than what we're currently entitled to.
Yeah, they built on the current zoning, a lot more intensive than A5.
There's also a significant roadway improvement that's about to get started, taking a 2-lane country road with bar ditches to 4-lane divided.
Is there a timeline you're aware of on Avondale Hazlet?
You want me to predict timelines for road work in Fort Worth? If you guys are hiring, I'm here for it. It was supposed to be done 2 years from, or a year from now, but it hadn't started yet. So I think by 2030, but there's also a grade separated crossing to the east with BNSF that's being worked on with COG and everybody else. But it's all part of that whole redevelopment with 156, Avondale Hazlet, and 287. That is a landlocked area, and this is the relief they need. And I think a reduction in the number of roofs is a huge step in the right
direction. Yep. All right. Thank you very much. Any more questions? All right. Thank you. This time we'll close the public hearing, and Commissioner Worman.
Now is the suspense. See how long Jeremy can stay. For ZC 25-200, I move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Worman and a second by Commissioner Mayo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce? Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Worman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is zoning case ZC-25-201. Site location is 14271 Old Denton Road. And Commissioners, we have not received any letters in support or opposition for this case.
Read the applicant. Welcome to Zoning Commission.
Hi, good afternoon. Ban Al Ali with Alias Architects, 903 18th Street, suite number 229, Plano, Texas. And we are requesting a rezone for this lot from residential, A43, to light industrial. It is inconsistent, compatible with the comp plan, and it's compatible with the uses around it. I did have a presentation to show the site plan. Like I said, it's, like we're requesting, it's, in our opinion, it is complement the surrounding areas and promotes the continuous character of the nearby uses. And the next slide, please. Recently, the City Council approved an ordinance to change some of the surrounding areas to light industrial. They were in the ETJ. And this is the lot. Most of the lot is in the flood zone, but we are developing the portion that is away from the flood zone. The owner is looking to build RV storage. We have an office for management with a warehouse for indoor storage. And some of the storages are going to be indoor, and the rest is going to be covered. Well, this is the site plan. There are some, some areas that's, required for maintenance and dumping, and we're going to be consistent, and comply with all the zoning and code requirements. This is a 3D of, the look.
Thank you.
I'm available for any questions, and the owner also is available if needed.
Are there any questions by commissioners for the applicant? And there is no opposition signed up to speak. All right, thank you very much. This time we'll close the public hearing, and Commissioner Werman, this is yours.
For ZC 25-201, I move for approval.
Second.
Who was our second? Sorry. Welch? Okay. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Werman and a second by Commissioner Welch.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
Vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket. Oh, no, it's not last but not least. A little too
My hopes
soon.
up.
A little too soon. Case ZC 25-202, located at 2521 Race Street. Commissioners, we have not received any letters in support or opposition for this case.
Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Thank you. Good afternoon, council members and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Gregory Dominguez. I'm the owner of the property located at 2521 Ray Street. I am also the owner-operator of Strategic Plumbing. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to me today in support of my request to rezone this property from D multifamily to E neighborhood commercial. The proposed zoning will allow Strategic Plumbing to build a home office which will provide several benefits to the community while remaining compatible with nearby properties in terms of scale, traffic, and appearance. The proposed use complies with the city's comprehensive plan and meets applicable development standards and will not negatively impact traffic, safety, neighborhood character. I am committed to working with the city staff neighborhood to ensure the development is done thoughtfully and responsibly. In closing, I respectfully ask for the approval of the rezoning request. I believe it represents a positive step forward to both my property and the community as a whole. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions? We have no one signed up to speak in opposition. All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank
This
you.
time we'll close the public hearing and leave it up for discussion, or Commissioner Castro, you are free to make a motion.
In this case, I think we did have a letter from the Riverside Alliance, and they seem to be in support, giving kudos to how it is encouraging revitalization in the neighborhood. With that said, is there any other open discussion that y'all would like to have? Can I make a motion?
I just want more people who have D-zone property to rezone it to E. I'd like to put forward a initiative. Thank you.
In CZ 25-202, I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Werman.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines.
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo.
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Aye.
Commissioner Welch.
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy.
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce. Commissioner Rogers.
Aye.
Commissioner Werman.
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next item on the agenda is zoning case ZC-25-203, located at 2520 Hemp Hill Street. Commissioners, we have received 14 letters in opposition, no letters in support.
Welcome to the Zoning Commission.
Good afternoon. If I can, do I move this, Lynn?
What's that?
I just want to make sure it was okay if I moved it. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mary Nell Poole, Town Site 2918 Wingate here in Fort Worth. I'm here today requesting to rezone this site from E-commercial to PDE with automotive service as an additional use. We are also excluding convenience store, gasoline sales, and liquor package stores from any future use on the site. This site was a former Dollar General store which has been vacant for a couple of years. My client proposes to renovate the existing 9,100 square foot building into a tire service facility offering light automotive repair related to tire replacement, such as mounting, balancing, alignment, suspension adjustments, brake replacements, battery installation, oil changes, and state inspections. These are typical in and out services completed within 1 to 2 hours. No major engine, transmission, or body work will be performed on the site. We are not asking for any waiver of any outdoor storage or work, and all work will be performed within the service bay areas. Whoops, I need to go back one. My site plan's missing. Okay, there it is. Here is the site PD site plan. The existing footprint will remain exactly the same. No additional square footage is being added to the building. The existing building will be renovated to house a reception area in the front, 7 service bays along the northern side, and tire storage on the interior of the building. You may have noticed the existing trees on the site were overgrown. Those will be limbed up and the dead shrubs replaced in order to meet the landscape requirements. There is also an existing monument on site which will be utilized, and all signage will conform to the sign ordinance. All exterior lighting will also meet the lighting ordinance. We are requesting one waiver. The railroad track at the rear of the building is zoned A5. Since we do not abut any actual single-family homes, we are requesting a waiver for auto repair adjacent to single-family. See if I can find it this time. This is a rendering of the proposed renovation to the building. This change will take a large vacant building and keep its footprint the same while creating a clean and visually compatible building with neighboring properties. We believe this project will help revitalize the Hemp Hill corridor by bringing back a commercial business that will also create 8 to 12 jobs, potentially from people living in the area. I did reach out to the adjacent neighborhood groups. Most were not meeting in December and will not be meeting until after the hearing. I did meet with the Hemp Hill Corridor Collaborative Board, and some of the neighborhood leaders serve on that board. I would ask for your approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Any questions before we move to the opposition? Thank you very much. All right, we have 2 speakers signed up to speak in opposition, and just so the rest of the commissioners are aware, I've also received 10 signatures in opposition. All right,
As well
so
as a letter from the Hemp Hill Corridor Development Collaboration opposing this.
yes, I think that was in our correspondence, correct? Yeah, this was something I was just handed. Okay, Richard. I've got a Ricardo and a Richard. There we go.
Hello, my name is Richard Ricchetti, and I am representing the Hemp Hill Development Collaborative. We sent in a letter of opposition. First and foremost, I would just like to compliment the case manager, Dave, and Marinelle Poole for coming to the zoning commission with a creative solution on taking E and basically minimizing the impact. It is a creative solution. However, the Hemp Hill Development Collaborative is in opposition for this particular development. It is taking E retail to basically back to automotive. The challenge is with automotive, once this building, this structure has 7 bays in it, it will always remain automotive. The Development Collaborative, as well as the local citizens, as well as the neighborhood associations, have opposed the encroaching auto sales and auto repair shops beyond where they're currently located on the Hemp Hill Corridor. The future use for the Hemp Hill Corridor in this section is mixed use, and we would like to continue that and support mixed use and prevent more auto sales and auto repair shops in non-auto areas along the corridor to help spur basically innovative retail and more restaurants as the citizens have requested. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ricardo.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Ricardo Avitia, and I am a lifelong resident of South Fort Worth near Hemp Hill Morningside. I'm here representing adjacent residential neighbors who will be directly impacted by this request. 10 nearby residents have signed a petition opposing ZC 25203, and I've submitted that into the record today. At least 3 to 4 of these neighbors are retired and reside in their homes most of the day. We're here because the city redesigned Hemp Hill to be safer, fewer lanes, slower speeds, and better conditions for people walking, biking, and using mobility devices. Approving ZC 25203, a tire shop at this exact intersection, directly undermines that goal. For the record, the applicant stated that this property was vacant for 2 years. I'd like to point out that it has been closed for less than 1 year. Dollar General did not close until after June 2025. This location already experiences traffic congestion, illegal parking next door at Dash Mart on Hemp Hill Street, and backs up from a nearby railroad crossing. A tire shop would only increase car trips, parking turnover, and service traffic, and noise from the impact drills, people working, people yelling and whistling to be heard by others, and tires squealing, right where pedestrians are already competing for space. We also already have 4 tire shops within 2 miles, and just 2 years ago, a car lot across the street was denied due to traffic impacts. This proposal is no different. If we reduce lanes to make Hemp Hill safer, it makes no sense to approve a use that increases traffic demand. This is a spot zoning and it breaks trust within the community. I urge you to deny this request and uphold the city's commitment to a walkable, people-first corridor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Poole, your 2 minutes.
was trying to get it back. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get it back to the aerial photo again. I think automotive has been what they have stated as the issue that bothers them the most about this project. As staff commented, all automotive is lumped into one big category. They don't break it out individually. I think this kind of use is a more retail use, and retail is what is going to be on this site. This existing building is 9,100 square feet. It's a very large site, as you can see. There is a lot of parking. What other use can go in a site this large and utilize the existing building? I think this is a very creative way to bring back a solid business that can promote jobs and help promote the corridor as well as the total area. I think this is a very creative way to get this building back into use rather than sitting this way. The Dollar General closed. I know you thought that I heard you in this work session state that you would like to see the Dollar General there because it actually helps the neighborhood. It closed due to theft and to loitering with unhoused people around the site so long. So that's why the store closed. So this does bring back a solid business that can provide retail services to the entire area and promote jobs. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Poole. All right, any questions for the applicant? Yep. Commissioner?
Just pull it
He's coming. They're going to turn it on right there.
Okay, I'm on now. Thank you, ma'am, for a great presentation. I have a question. So Hemp Hill runs what, north and south, and then there's Berry that runs east and west. How many tire stores are in that area? Did you do like a demographic study to
You know,
see?
35 is over. I looked just to kind of see where there were. Some 35, I started a little closer to North Main and to 35, going, away from it. I didn't see any direct competition. I didn't look I did not do the economics on this, but I think the people who are going to develop this have looked at that and what their competition would be and the scale of what they were bringing in.
Okay. And then you were saying that I know in some of the some of the tire stores over there are strictly just repair, but yours, this facility would be retail as well, correct?
Well, when I say I think this is a more retail use in that this is like a come and go. You're going to come in here for a service, buy new tires. They're not new and used tires. You have just new tires, and then related services to that. If your brakes, your suspension, mounting, the type of things that would go along with having your tires repaired. This isn't like heavy automotive use, which I can understand you don't want along this corridor. And all of the work is done inside of the Bay Area. So noise and those type of things are greatly reduced because all of the work is done on the interior. And again, people are in and out in 1 to 2 hours.
Thank you, ma'am.
So is this like discount tire almost?
I guess you would call it similar to that, yes.
Where they have a retail and you can purchase tires, get them mounted, balanced.
Get them done and
get
you're
put
gone.
air in 'em.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Probably closer to like a Pep Boys because they do the brakes and other small jobs.
Well, Pep Boys, I think, does more transmission. They do heavier stuff too. This is all very light automotive.
Any other questions?
Ms. Marinell, there's a kind of a specific situation. It looks like we have a railroad behind it.
Directly behind us.
Directly behind it, but I guess in your PD, you're asking for adjacent residential district. Is that because of the
The railroad is zoned A5.
easement? Yeah.
Automatically is zoned A5.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions for any of the opposition? No? Okay, at this time, we will close the public hearing and leave it open for some discussion or a motion by Commissioner Castro.
So I think this is a complex one again, hearing
You
from.
might want to get a little bit closer to your mic.
This is another complex one, given the circumstances, the feedback from the nearby residents, but also acknowledging the revitalization opportunity with this business potentially bringing between 8 to 12 jobs. Anyone else want to share their thoughts?
Here's my concern. That building is gonna sit there. I don't know what else you can do with it. It's just gonna sit there.
Yeah, you can't force a food business or something to go in
It's
there
just
if they
gonna
don't
sit
want
there.
to. And from a traffic perspective, I think you're gonna have less traffic with automotive shop like this versus Dollar General even, because that traffic's in and out constantly, whereas automotive traffic, you have limited number of bays, so there's limited number of appointments that can be made at any given time.
Yeah, I agree with both of those comments. I was thinking about what Commissioner Robinson said, just, yeah, I know this is not ideal for the neighborhood. This isn't what they want
It's better than
in trying to revitalize and get things closer. Basically bring what's happening in South Main and Magnolia, you know, down Hemphill. I know they've been working hard on that.
Yeah.
The other side of that is, you know, saying no to this business, no to this. It just sits there longer and longer vacant.
Becomes an
And
eyesore.
so there's definitely pros and cons to that. Just from a land use perspective, I mean, it does make sense. It's a very busy railroad line behind it. I personally get stuck behind that thing all the time. And also the traffic comment by Commissioner Trujillo, I tend to agree with you there too. You know, there are a lot of businesses that would provide a lot more traffic for the neighborhood, which they don't want. That's already a very busy street, you know, that's now, I believe, 2 lanes with a turn lane. And you can get stuck there for a while. So I understand that concern, but I also agree with you that this is the lesser of the two evils here, this type of use.
Can I ask the applicant a question?
Sure.
So,
Ms. Poole?
read again. So, what are the hours of operation for this potential project?
They are normally open 7 to 7,
Is it gonna be
Monday through Saturday.
So Sundays they will be closed.
They would close on Sunday.
So even like Dollar General, they're open every day. Traffic just gonna keep flowing in and out of there. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Would you like some more discussion?
No, I appreciate all the feedback, commissioners. In KCC 25-203, I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Trujillo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains.
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo.
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Aye.
Commissioner Welch.
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy.
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce. Commissioner Rogers.
Aye.
Commissioner Werman.
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next item on the docket is zoning case ZC-25-204. Site location is 519 East Butler Street and 600 Block East Rippey Street. Commissioners, we've received one letter in support, no letters in opposition.
The Zoning Commission.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the Commission. My name is Warren Ellis, JSA Development Group. I represent Fort Worth ISD. I'll be talking briefly about the zoning on the case, and I have a member of our team, Philip, who will be giving us a brief site presentation of what it is. As mentioned earlier, the district is requesting a PD for CF district uses. They're looking at developing a new school on the same site as the existing campus of the school. And as a result of that, because of the orientation of the school, it has been pushed closer to South Rippey Street, and we're asking for a waiver of the front yard, a waiver of the front yard in terms of the uses of the off-street parking. In addition to that, along South Jones Street, because of the way the school is developed, we're having a playground on South Jones. We're asking for also fencing also in the required yard. to allow for, uh, the students to be safe and things of that nature. In addition to that, on South Butler Street, there is a possibility of the sign might be located in the front yard, so we're asking for a waiver of that. Those various items we are requesting the waiver in the required yard. In addition to that, as you know, in terms of how the site is oriented, is the eastern portion of the site is adjacent to the frontage road. And because of that, we are asking for a waiver of the landscape to put it closer on along Jones Street to have more of a buffer from the existing residents. So that concludes my portion of the zoning issue. So we have Mr. Phillip who will be giving you a brief overview of the campus, new campus.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Commission members. Philip Verghese with Tignall and Perkins, we're the civil engineers. If we can go to the slide presentation. So here's an overview, aerial overview of the site with the proposed new building. So the plan is to construct a new building while the existing building stays in operation. Here is the complete site plan for the site. Once the existing building is demoed out, so the proposed new building will be located on the north end. Parking will be located on the south. There will also be a bus drop-off and some parking on the north side of the building. Have some floor plans of the building. Classrooms will be located along those two wings that you see on the west side of the building. The administration is in the front, then the cafeteria is located on the northeast corner. And then just a few renderings of the proposed Worth Heights Elementary School after it's with the completed project. That's it for the presentation. I also have representatives from Fort Worth ISD and the architect with us to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We have no one signed up in opposition. So do we have any questions?
We see the slide with both buildings on it. I did have a question about that.
Right
So,
there.
yes, in the process of the construction, are there any negative impacts to the recess time that's required for elementary school kids as far as losing the play space? And if there is, how are we getting around it without impacting their
Sure. Yeah, those two playgrounds that you're seeing just south of the proposed building would be in conflict with construction because of the construction equipment. We're working with the contractor and the school district to figure out how we accommodate any play areas that we need to do for the school.
Okay. And then, no, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
All right.
How long
Thank
do you
you.
expect a project to take to build a new building and demolish the old?
Say it again.
How long is the project going to take to build the new school as well as demolish the old?
Roughly, I believe the proposed construction is about 12 to 14 months. And then slowly after that, they'll demo the existing building and build the parking lot and then be ready.
Yes. Commissioner Pierce?
The name of the school is Worth Heights. Is this, okay, it's Rippey Street in Butler. Is this by the homeless district? Or is this off of?
It's like Rippey and 35, right,
And 35.
right on
Oh, okay,
35 and
that way.
Rippey.
Okay. And would the state recently taking over the Fort Worth ISD, would there be any issues, with I don't know if this is part of the bond program. It is part of the bond program.
Yes, this is part of the bond program.
Okay. Would there be any issues as far as, would this project really move forward?
I do not have any information to answer towards that comment. I can ask the district representatives if they're able to answer that question.
Okay, I was just wondering because I saw that it was a lot of the bond programs are on hold. So
I'm not sure that it would affect like
No.
our decision on zoning.
Also,
Whether or not it
does
goes
this go
forward or
into
not.
CF, which is what we really
We're moving it from A5 single family residential to community facility, which is what it is.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I
that
was
way,
wondering, would it be for us to be voting for it, and then it's just like everything is on hold, you know, as far as, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
It's
even
not
if that
relevant.
happened, it's still, yeah,
Right.
I'm not sure that.
Commissioner, I think that's outside the purview. Just deciding on the land use and CF is certainly appropriate.
I agree.
It would be cool if they gave us that power, though.
Well, I was just wondering.
Commissioner Castro, are you ready to you need some more information, or?
I think I'm ready to make
Okay.
a motion. NCC 25-204, I move for approval.
second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Warman.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Rains?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo?
Aye.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval for this case. Next case on the docket is, now we're at the last case. Zoning case ZC 25-205, located at 4582 Anglin Circle. Commissioners, we have not received any letters in support or opposition.
Mr. Riley.
Good afternoon. I'm here, Bob Riley, with Have Associates representing Black Mountain. We've been here before on some other tracts of land adjacent and adjoining this property. We are requesting a zoning change from the existing one lot of B2, and the other is ag for less than 40 acres. And it's mirroring the same zoning that we got on a piece of property right next to us back in September, which is PD 1435. Our development standards are the same with one exception. The exception is that we're adding a building setback of 300 feet from the existing Weston Gardens HC property that was zoned back in 2004 as a historical and cultural designation. The purpose of this is to build a data center along with its supporting facilities. This is a tract of land. It's to the east of the existing rezone property that y'all approved and the council approved in September. It's fronted on Anglin Avenue and Eden Road to the south. Anglin Circle is a street that runs from Anglin down to Eden. Community output, we informed the council member of our application. We made our application. We sent out a notice to the surrounding property owners on December the 22nd, announcing the community meeting. And on Monday, January the 5th, we conducted an early evening meeting where 5 individuals showed up, including, I believe there's 2 here today from Weston Garden. The concerns that we heard was building setback from Weston Gardens, which I think we're providing for. There was concerns about tree removal. We'll be in full compliance with the urban forestry ordinance and any other noise levels and the traffic impact. And here we are today. The building setback from Weston Gardens, 300 feet. The urban forestry will fully comply with both the urban forestry ordinance and any landscape and buffer yard requirements. Noise, as in previous cases, will comply with this Fort Worth noise ordinance. And in preliminary discussions with the designers of the site, they are going to be fully aware of possible buffering of the alternative generators that only be used in a situation of emergency or power outage. Traffic impacts Once again, this would be a very low generating facility for traffic once construction is completed. And at our community meeting, we indicated that we'd be more than happy to work with the Westons, particularly during the wedding season, which is their peak in the spring and some in the fall, to try to mitigate any traffic, construction noise and traffic. Doesn't impede with their schedule. I have this exhibit. This is the land holdings in which we have recently rezoned. The hashtag ones are, the one at the very bottom right is the subject property today, and we're requesting a waiver of site plan. The one in the very top right was one that was going to council last night, and at the request of the council member, we've continued that to where it mirrors up with this one. That would be heard on February the 10th. Brett Bennett, CEO of Black Mountain, is here with me if you have any questions.
Any questions, commissioners, before we hear from the opposition? I have one, Ms. Riley, just to clarify something. You talked about hearing the concerns of some the folks at Weston Gardens and wanting to hear those concerns. The setback on England Drive, you've got that to a minimum of 300. What's your requirement?
Our requirement is,
What's the city's requirement?
city's requirement is 50 feet
So you're going to 300.
from Weston Gardens property line.
Okay.
That's, yes,
You're voluntarily adding an extra
yes,
250 feet.
yes.
Okay.
We have,
Okay.
we have really whatever I industrial is, which is little to none for a side yard.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make that clear. And then also on the north side of the property, there's a slide that's got the floodplain on there. Are you going to be able to build in that floodplain or no? Is that going to kind of minimize? What
No, we have not done any of the required drainage studies, wastewater studies, traffic studies that will come along with the plating.
Platting? Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Raleigh. Any other questions before we hear from the opposition?
Just a quick question. This might be for Ms. Stephanie about supplemental setbacks depending on the size of the structure. Would that apply here?
I may actually need to defer to, whose case is this? Beth? Or
That's
Lynn?
Lynn's.
Lynn.
Yes, ma'am. As far as the supplemental setback, so the supplemental setback comes into play when you're adjacent to residential districts, and that supplemental setback in the ordinance, whenever it's adjacent to the residential district, is 50 feet with landscaping buffers, things like that.
And we're increasing it to 75.
And Commissioner Pierce.
Okay. I have a question. I believe you were here last month, and continuously you have to, seems like make requests for setbacks. Is it an issue with your civil engineering, or it seems like you have to continuously come back and ask for more setbacks?
As far as the setback is to get the additional height, industrial zoning allows up to 55 foot. Our tenants will need, they're thinking that they're going to need up to 70 feet to get 2 floors in of the computers. This is basically an office that's going to have nothing but computers in it.
Oh, I see.
It's a data center.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And I believe I reported last month, this will probably be our last case.
Last time. Okay.
Last time. Probably be.
I'll put 100 on it if you want.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Riley. Don't take that bet.
That's a good bet. He said.
And at this time, we do have some opposition that has signed up to speak. I have 3 people signed up to speak, and just a reminder that you have 7 minutes together, so if somebody hits something, you might want to let that one go and give us some new information. We have Jackson, Sue, and Amon. And welcome to the Zoning Commission.
My name is Sue Weston, and I own Weston Gardens. It's a 42-year-old business. My husband and I just quit our jobs, our corporate jobs, and started it from scratch 42 years ago, and then we bought the property right across the street that is a gardens. It's a historic gardens, and we have a designation, as Mr. Riley said. In 2004, we came before the council and got that because we wanted some sort of protection, and we think Fort Worth needs more green space. We have had 2 meetings with Black Mountain. They're a local, I mean, they're Fort Worth based. We don't have any problems with Mr. Bennett or with Mr. Riley. They've been very transparent. I'm just concerned because I do live there, and Mr. Bennett and I have been talking about that, and they're going to make sure that things will stay to where it's a good environment to live in. But I'm concerned, kind of like what y'all were saying, that I'm going to be surrounded, if you approve this one, on 3 sides by data centers. And that's because now it'll be over 500 acres. I believe they'll develop probably the best data center around. And they sent us up to look at the Meta one in North Fort Worth, and we looked at that, and it is fairly quiet. And they're going to work with us on when we have weddings, construction. They couldn't have, and the setback of 300 foot will help with the weddings and things. But I'm just concerned. I've told them that I want to have neighbors other than a data center.
I'm Jackson Weston, her son, and I just had a couple remarks about that. We would like for the property that is being proposed in this case to remain consistent as far as the vegetation and trees that are currently there. It's a rural area with established trees, and these help tremendously to block the sound and visibility that these proposed data center structures, some of the issues that may come with that. Black Mountain mentioned that it would be beneficial to them too at the meeting we had on the 5th, and to help achieving, as far as being good neighbors. So, they expressed that would be beneficial to them too. I would just like some assurance that during development of the property that the trees on the outer edge of the property wouldn't be demolished or bulldozed. This would preserve a sliver of the natural beauty of the area around us and help preserve the historic site and the venue that we have. I know that when you replant something, we have experience with that since we're a landscaping company. You take out the established trees, it can take an extremely long amount of time to get those new trees to get back to that point, years and years. So that's something I've just been seeking and wanted to bring up. But as she said, Black Mountain has been very transparent, and they've been great listeners in the process. Thank you.
Jackson, real quick, just to clarify on the trees you're talking about, is that on the Anglin property line?
It's on, well, it kind of surrounds the entire property we're looking at. They go along Anglin,
Then Anglin
Circle, and Enon. So it's kind of all around.
Okay.
And it's a good buffer and kind of keeps you from being able to see within that property.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eamon. I'm the landscape designer for Weston Gardens. I just came with a concern because data centers are getting a lot of bad publicity lately with their resource usage / waste and light and sound pollution. We went to see the Meta one in North Fort Worth, and it was very quiet. We went during the day. So I was just wanting to know if there are places that we can see, what is being used of our resources and how the city manages all of that transparently. So that's my concern. I just want to share. Thank you.
No, thank you. Mr. Riley.
As I stated before, when we move into the plating process, we have had a meeting with the water department talking about the availability of water in that area. I'm sure that this development is going to require some upgrades, plus the fact that water director stated back in September that this is an opportunity. They have oversized some lines going into this area for future development since they tore up streets and all that to do it. And there is a mechanism in which the developer has to pay for a portion of that oversize. Also, there's recently been some sewer improvements done in this area, And the city has established a per acre charge on that, which the developer would have to participate in during the planning process.
Can you speak to the trees that he spoke about on the edge of the property on Angle
Yeah,
and Circle and Drive?
inside the yellow box, and I've been out to this site 2 or 3 times, they're primarily, they're very desirable. Any tree is desirable. I'm a landscape architect emeritus, so I'm fully aware of that. And, I would characterize a lot of these as, fence row trees. And underneath the zoning requirements, a substantial amount of your landscaping has to be in your front yard. So I think that's going to replace that. As I stated in the community meeting, any tree that we don't remove, we get credit for. So it doesn't cost us any money. It actually saves the project money. So that's my reply.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Riley. Commissioners, questions?
So, I know we have a tree ordinance.
Yes.
Remember?
Correct. Yep. And I believe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, if you want to direct that question to Mr. Riley, but the tree ordinance, following the tree ordinance.
The tree ordinance requires that, before you do any development, you've got to do an inventory of all the trees that are existing. Identify basically the amount of canopy, because that's where the most benefit comes from trees, is the canopy cover. Additionally, you have to identify on the site the significant trees, and I should have looked it up. I think I can't remember. It's 28-inch diameter, and if you take one of those out, you have to plant additional trees. So it's very well organized, very well, and there is a requirement for total landscaping on the site.
Thank you.
And you will follow that ordinance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will not be coming for any variances on that.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. All right. Any other questions? If not, we will close the public hearing, and Commissioner Pierce, this one's all yours. Yes.
Okay. All right. In the case of, as I find it, ZC 25205, I move for approval.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Pierce and a second by Commissioner Werman.
Commissioner, would you prefer to have a site map or without the site map?
You asked me a hard question.
We'd have to do a new motion because there's already one on the floor, but.
Yeah.
I think she can
could
amend
amend
her
it, I
motion.
guess.
Yeah, we can allow, just to make sure, because I'm not sure it was clear, we can allow her to withdraw that. You can make a new motion and make sure if you do want to include the
So
site
as
plan.
is, it's a site plan, a waiver is requested.
Okay.
And I believe that's because they're just not in the stages to start.
Oh, I see.
They're not ready for a
Gotcha.
site
Look at
map.
the staff recommendation.
Right.
Staff recommendation is approval with site plan required.
All right, so
You want to amend your motion? Okay.
I amend, excuse me, I'm sorry. On record, I amend my motion for ZC 25205. I move for approval with a required site waiver.
Second.
Site plan, sorry.
Site plan required?
Site plan required, thank you.
Second, site plan requirement.
Okay, there is a motion on the floor to approve case 25205 with the site plan required by Commissioner Pierce and seconded by Commissioner Mayo.
Commissioners, how do you vote? Chairperson Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayo? Commissioner Trujillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Welch?
Aye.
Commissioner McCoy?
Aye.
Commissioner Edmonds?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Werman?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
With a vote of 11-0, the Zoning Commission votes to recommend approval with site plan required for this case.
Before we adjourn, Commissioner Werman asked if he could say a few words. So, Commissioner Werman.
I just want to tell all you guys up here, I'm more than 4 years doing this, and the last several months having 10 or 11 bodies in the room has made this a much more effective commission, because we all have opinions and different experiences that I think are helping us kind of move in a different direction. And I know it's hard to be here, as you saw me, busting in late like the Kool-Aid man. And the effort it takes for us to get up here sometimes is not noticed by anybody but us up here. So thank you guys, and I look forward to some more arguments in the future with you guys.
Thank you for saying that. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.